Namaskara, dear students. Through this video, I am going to teach you the summary of our fourth lesson in our second PUC Sanskrit textbook, that is Shunya Angulihi. What is the meaning of the title? Yes, Shunya me Angulihi. My finger is empty now. This is a part of a drama, that is the drama Abhijnana Shakuntalam, great work of Sanskrit literature composed by Kavi Kulaguru Kalidasa. Abhijnana Shakuntalam contains 7 acts and this is the lesson 5th act. Yes, before going to understand the summary of this lesson, we should know whatever the story took place in rest 4 acts. Yes, now I am going to tell you previous story, Purva Katha. Dushyanta, hero of this drama, was the king of Hastinavati. Once he visited Kanvashrama, but in that moment the sage Kanva was not there in ashrama, and his adopted daughter, that is Shakuntala, main female character of this drama, she attends Dushyanta, and meanwhile both of them, by exchanging their feeling, they fell in love, and finally that love took them to marriage. So they both got married with the absence of their parents in Gandharva style. Some more days Dushyanta had quality of time with Shakuntala in that ashrama only. But some other day he got a message from his mother that immediately he has to come to kingdom, and he had to leave that ashrama without Shakuntala. He assured Shakuntala that he will come back soon. So, as a memory, as a proof of their marriage, he gave one of his rings as a proof. That is Abhijnanam. Okay. So, by handing over that ring, assured her that he would come back soon, he went off. After that, some other day, Shakuntala realized that the scion of Hastinavati is growing in her womb, and she was deeply thinking of Dushyanta only. And on some other day, Durvasa Muni, who came to the ashrama, but Shakuntala, as a host, she had to welcome him, but in deep of Dushyanta's memory, he did not notice the arrival of the sage. So Durvasa Muni cursed her that whoever there in her mind, that person should forget her. She did not notice even that curse. However, her two friends, Priyamvada and Anasuya, they came to know about the curse and they requested Muni to take back that curse. But Durvasa Muni, the one who was unable to take back the curse, told that the moment when Shakuntala shows any one proof to her husband Dushyanta, he will recollect all his memory. So this was the boon was given by Durvasa Muni, and her two friends Anasuya and Priyamvada thought that yes, she has that ring which was given by Dushyanta. By showing that Dushyanta, in any case, he can recollect his memory, that story will happily end. But they hid that curse matter with Shakuntala as she is pregnant lady. This is not good to share. So, some other day, Kanva Maharshi came back to ashrama, realized that the marriage of Shakuntala, his daughter and Dushyanta. He realized that she is a pregnant lady, she should not be here in ashrama in this situation, and he made an arrangement to send her to Hastinavati near her husband Dushyanta. That's why he sent two disciples. One is Sharangarava and another one is Sharadvata, and one old lady meditator, that is Gautami, along with Shakuntala. And with grand manner, with advice, Kanva Maharshi sent Shakuntala to Hastinavati. This is the previous story. After this, what happens? This is our lesson. Yes, now the story takes place in the palace of King Dushyanta. As per Durvasa's curse, he had completely forgotten about Shakuntala and about the marriage. That's why commonly he was ruling and he was busy with his administration. That's why very beginning in the lesson we will see that the Kanchuki, who says, Kanchuki means he was the officer of the palace, says that king is always busy with his administrative works, and he gets the message. These Kanva disciples, along with Shakuntala and Gautami, they have reached the palace. Even though he had forgotten about Shakuntala, the moment when he hears the message that Shakuntala and the sages from Kanvashrama have arrived to palace, his mind will be little disturbed. We can see that, we can observe that through his dialogue. And he had little bit curiosity to know that why these sage people have come to meet him. And his doorkeeper says that yes, definitely they might have come here to appreciate our king who has done good job. And we can see that in this fifth act that King Dushyanta is very philanthropic man. He is just a king and who is following Rajadharma. The moment when these sages means the disciples of Kanva, they are Sharangrava and Sharadvata, along with that old lady meditator Gautami and Shakuntala, enters into the palace with Vedic manner. They realize that this is the glorified palace. And Dushyanta hears the message of Kanva. Kanva clearly states that in his message that he has liked the marriage of Dushyanta and Shakuntala, and now Shakuntala is pregnant, and he had told Dushyanta to accept Shakuntala as his wife. And this was really unbelievable word for Dushyanta. After hearing Kanva's message, he was really in shock. But Sharangarava asks Dushyanta, Are, you are a king and you have married her, but then also again you are telling she is not my wife. How can I believe? So you are saying all these dialogues means, what is this? Can we accept all this from a king? Because you only know the Lokavrittanta, what happens in this world if a good lady is abandoned by a husband. If a good lady who is abandoned by her husband, people always they will doubt at her. That should not happen. But meanwhile, Dushyanta, who was affected by Durvasa Muni's curse. See here one dramatical scene. Nobody knows about the curse which was earlier given by Durvasa. Dushyanta had completely forgotten Shakuntala, but some in the corner of his mind, Shakuntala's affection he has. The moment when Gautami, the old Tapasi, she unveils the face of Shakuntala, which was covered by veil. After seeing her face, Dushyanta thinks that, oh, this Shakuntala, this lady, she is so beautiful, spotless beauty she has. And after having seen this lady, again my mind is a dilemma like a honeybee. Having seen a jasmine which is filled with the dew, it cannot leave the jasmine or it cannot consume the nectar of the jasmine. Like that, my mind status. He himself expresses like this. So, this statement clearly tells us the dilemma status of his mind, because after having seen Shakuntala, he was totally in confusion because his mind, one side, is completely denying that Shakuntala is unknown, he has not married her. But in some other corner of his mind, it is told that in some other corner of mind, it is making him assurance that you have seen her, you have met her, you have married her. So like this dilemma was going on, and meanwhile Sharangrava also, he argued with Dushyanta, and finally Sharangrava and Sharadutta told Shakuntala to prove their marriage by some believable words. So Shakuntala tried to show the ring earlier which was given by Dushyanta. So she touched her finger, then she realized that she had lost that ring. And Gautami, the old Tapasi, told that yes, that ring might have fallen in Shachi Tirtha while offering salutation, because we had been to Shachi Tirtha while coming here. She tells that, and by losing that ring, Shakuntala was unable to prove herself that she had got married with Dushyanta. So finally, what to do? But she still had some hopes. That's why she will try to say some other incident, that is Dirga Panga Vrittanta. She tells one incident which took place that ashrama. Dushyanta and Shakuntala, they both were romantically roaming in ashrama. Meanwhile, Dushyanta had a cup of water in his hand, the cup which was made of lotus leaf. And meanwhile, Dirgha Panga named a small cub, that means a small fawn, cub of deer. It comes that deer name was Dirgha Panga, and deer was adopted as her own son by Shakuntala. After seeing that fawn, Dushyanta had offered water with compassion, but that fawn did not drink the water, as Dushyanta was stranger for that fawn. But when the same water was fed by Shakuntala, the fawn showed affection in Shakuntala, and Dushyanta had laughed and told, "You both are tribes. Sarvaha Sagandeshu Vishwasiti." Everybody keeps faith on their own people. You both are living in forest. You believe each other. So this is the story. By telling this, she tried to recall Dushyanta's memory, but no use, because unless she shows the ring, he cannot recollect his memory with Shakuntala. But she had lost that ring. So because of she losing that ring, the story will take some other twist. So Dushyanta will start to say that this Shakuntala, normally woman will be cheater, that a cheating nature commonly observed in woman, like that his talking will turn. Now, Gautami, the old lady, she also tells, no, no, O king, it is not good to say like this, because this Shakuntala, our daughter, has grown up in ashrama. She doesn't know, she doesn't know about cheating. How can you say like this? And even Shakuntala also gets angry on Dushyanta in this moment. She absolutely used the word anarya, cultured less. You are speaking, being a king, wearing the attire of Dharmavadi. You are speaking so rudely. So you are just a well which is which is covered with grass. So this is the harsh word came from the mouth of Shakuntala, and we can understand the situation. How Shakuntala, that pain she is experiencing inside in her mind. And finally, what to do? These two sages, that means the disciples of Kanwa, they decided to leave this matter here only. They told Shakuntala to stay in the palace only, because it is not so good to come back again to ashrama. That will be cause for the ruin of the name of the ashrama. That's why it is better to accept slavery in this palace. That Sharadvata tells. But anyway, she will start to cry. The preceptor Somarata tells what to do now, because Dushyanta was not ready to accept her, because even though he remembers many times, because of curse, because there is no wrong with Dushyanta also. Because of curse, he had forgotten Shakuntala, and he tells that even though he is Mudha, that means he is ignorant. But if Shakuntala is lying, if he accepts her as his wife, he will become Pamsula. Pamsula means the one who touches another man's wife. He is not ready to get such blamings. Of course, if she is correct, but in ignorance, Dushyanta is only not recognizing her. If he leaves her in this situation, again he will get the blaming Daratyagi. That means the one who has abandoned his wife. That blaming also not good for a king, because his dynasty has one good name. Dushyanta is not ready to give up that name and fame. He is not ready to spoil that name and fame. That's why he asks his guru, preceptor, what to do now. And preceptor Somarata, he says that until Shakuntala gives birth to a baby, she can stay in my home, because long back an astrologer had told Dushyanta that very first Dushyanta he will have a child who will have an empire signed boy. And let us see if Shakuntala gives birth to such emperor signed boy, then our king has to accept Shakuntala as his wife, and along with that baby, he has to invite her to palace. If not so, again we have to make one arrangement to send her back to ashrama. So even Dushyanta also agreed for that. But meanwhile, even these sages, that means Sharandrava, Sharadvata, Gautami, they went off because they were helpless in this matter. So finally, the moment when preceptor Somarata was taking Shakuntala to his house. But meanwhile, a flame which was like Apsara that came from the sky and took Shakuntala up, and this was miraculously seen by that preceptor. And finally, having known this incident, Dushyanta also told, whatever it happened, it is for good only. But anyway, he wanted to take little rest because since from long time his mind was really disturbed. That also he says. And he will go to bed, but he will not get sleep. In his mind, again that dilemma, still it is there in the end of this lesson. He says that again and again, if he remembers, if he tries to remember that Shakuntala, he cannot remember her, but that strong pain in heart is making him to believe her. So, this is the summary of our fifth lesson, Shunya Angulihi. I hope you understood the summary of this lesson properly, you thorough it, and especially remember all the character names which come here. They are very, very important while writing answers and all. And if you like this video, kindly like it and you share this video with your friends also. I will meet you soon with the question answers of the same lesson. Until then, I would like to see you all. Samasta Sarmangalani Bhavantu.